in your Commonwealth Games debut with Team England. You went on to win bronze. What did that tournament do for you as an individual and as a team?
Which one?
The Commonwealth Games.
Commies was tough because we should have finished top of the group, but we messed up against India in the group stage. So for us as a group, it was quite a tough period to go through because we knew you basically had a choice of, if you won the group, you play against New Zealand in the crossover. If you lost, you'd play against Australia. And the difference between the two was quite large psychologically for us, which was probably part of our downfall as well. So we kind of learned, and it was tough for me as a player because I got called out in a meeting by our head coach at the time, who later frustratingly apologised in private rather than in front of the group. So I basically called a player out for swearing. So basically, we have these things called hot debrief post games. So you basically get things off your chest that basically will hopefully benefit the group in the long run. So one of our boys got a card, came off and basically dropped the C-bomb on the sideline, which from a card that could be a green or yellow, that's straight red if someone hears it. Now I heard it on our bench, so I'm guessing they must have heard it next to them because in the middle dugout, basically you have dugout seats, and that's where the player who gets sin bin sits. So I brought it up in a hot debrief, and somebody asked, did it affect your game? And I felt I had a pretty good game, and I actually did have a good game. And I said, no, I don't think it affected me. And he went, I did. I think you did. I don't think you had a good game. So as a head coach saying that to a player, I'm like, okay. Ooh. So I was in a bit of a slump for the next few days. And then, funnily enough, I asked for a meeting. I was like, look, we need to have a meeting to air this out. And he came and I asked a guy who I grew up with the whole way through, part of the team as well, a guy called Phil Roper. I was like, look, can you just come along to this meeting? And he apologised to me then. And I was like, he basically said, no, I actually did think you had a good game. And I was like, right, okay. So I've still lost rapport with teammates and all this. But anyway, we basically got to a stage as a group that we didn't turn up against Australia, didn't really put our game out there, which was frustrating. But what we somehow found a knack of, like with the Euros 2017, is put your semi-final to bed and just turn up on that final day. And that second India game was carnage. Just in terms of, it was obviously an intense game for both of us because their coach was under a lot of pressure as a coach for them, and we were just turning up and we really wanted to win that game. And I guess the team pulled through on that side of things, and we actually played really, really well in that third, fourth. But it's the growth as a group to kind of get yourselves to really fight when you're down, and it only takes two people with a positive mindset to drag two more. It's like similar to what I was saying before about if you're a player and you can pick someone up with you, great, because 2 can equal 4 quick, 4 can equal 8 quick. It's the same thing, and kind of what we had then was we had Barry Middleton, who is, I couldn't even tell you how many caps he's got, 400 and something. He just had an innate ability to turn up, and he was just a positive bloke. So just having that, and he was in our flat, and myself and a guy called Liam Sanford, known for being a little bit mopers, which we don't deal with losses very well. And once he had us on his side, the knock-on effect was there, and he's infectious with the way he was, and that kind of just dragged us out of the mire from a 2-0 loss in the semi-final to kind of get yourself to a third, fourth, which is pretty cool.
So not leaning back on that meeting too much, but you stuck your head above the parapet, many would say rightly, and I'm assuming the hot debrief means you can say what you want to say.
Yeah, within reason.
Yeah. What did they say to you? How did they feel that situation played out?
We didn't really say anything as a group on that front. I basically said, it's not good enough because on another day that yellow goes from a yellow to a red. We lose you, and it was early door or green to a red, and that was early doors in the game. It was about 10-15 minutes in, and there wasn't really much said because it happened quite quickly. It was knocked on the head by basically I got told I didn't play well, and then somebody would have the next point for the next bit of the meeting, so it kind of got knocked on the head on that point. So I wouldn't say there was much from a player point of view on that side of things. So yeah, I guess what you don't realise is the knock-on effect. So, for example, I was probably lost for a day, just in terms of mindset. So I probably wasn't really. I was there, body, not there in mind, because I was too busy being like, does that mean he's going to drop me for the next game? Does that mean like? And you go through those thoughts as a player naturally, and because of who I was as a player and confidence levels that I have, if I feel I don't have confidence in a coach, well, it's going to change my game. And that's probably going to change me as a player, or would have done. Now I'm a bit more, do you know what, I'm not too worried about it. Don't get me wrong, it'll still be a little thought in the back of my mind, but it won't be anywhere near as big as it was then. So yeah, I guess you lose people without realising it sometimes, just from the impact of a conversation, which is why now I probably will rather follow up conversations with people, and will have conversations, and if I can see that something's been said that I know could be misconstrued, I will make an effort to go over and be like, you all right? Like, have we got the right point out of that conversation, type thing, which probably is a massive bonus in the long run, but in the short term probably didn't affect me too well.